Hello viewers, welcome back again to our course ReactJS Portfolio website development for teens. Today we are going to be talking about React Foundations pilot mindset. Uh, so today we are going to focus on what is React and why developers use React. Here are the learning outcomes of this lesson. So when we talk about React React is a front-end development application which was created by Meta in 2018 to simplify and create user interfaces. So when we talk of React, we'll be talking about uh, when we talk of React, we'll be talking about uh, the most widely used front-end JavaScript framework in the world. Powers billions of people every day. It was introduced as a revolutionary concept. Instead of rebuilding the entire pages whenever data changes, you just build a small reusable pieces called components. So React was built to the purpose of React was to build interactive user interfaces efficiently. So when we talk of user interfaces, we'll be talking about everything you see and interact with, uh, which is the buttons, the forms, the menus, the cards, the navigation bars, the dashboard, the sidebars, among others. So let's just go to this website. When we talk of user interfaces, this is what we see on the screen. Uh, what we see on the screen and what we can interact with. If we click the home button, the about button, the text tag button, the projects, the theme toggle, the social media icons. If we go on Instagram, this is what we call the user interface. Go on Netflix, this is the same. If we go, if we talk of uh, if we talk of Facebook, it's one and the same thing. This is what we call the user interface. It's what you see and what you interact with is what we call the user interface. React helps developers create interfaces, reusable pieces called components. Now, when we talk of components, we'll be talking of uh, the files we create, and so that we can reuse them. Uh, we can reuse them in future. If we talk of components, we can give an example of a building. If we build your building, we don't just use a single block to build a full building, but we have got several blocks. Some are used side by side, some are used on top of each other, but the goal at the end will be to build a come up with a building. So that's the same in React. We've got several components that can be used, but the purpose of those components will be to create a website, to create an application. Here are the examples of what we call components. We've got the home button, the about, the text tag, the project, and the product center, the social media icons, logo. So, this section. Section is created on its own. If you create this section, which explains who is the owner of it tells us about who the owner of this website is. If it's an application, it tells us about who this what is the name of this application. Then there is the About section, which explains who the owner of the website is. It gives an explanation. So these are what the components are. The text, they talk about uh, the technologies in which the owner of the website is familiar with, the projects. These are the projects that the owner of the website has created. So this is what we call the components. We can, if we go on Facebook, these are the components. So the components are the items in which you can use throughout uh, the project in creating the application and so on. So you can talk of the Netflix. These are the components: the sign in, the get started, the email, the forms. Same as Airbnb. These are the components. The Instagram as well. We can see this is the sidebar. This is the NF bar and stuff. This is what we call the components, and they are reusable in each and in every way. They are reusable everywhere in developing the applications. And why developers choose React? Developers choose React because because of it's a component based technology built once and reused everywhere. A component is built once and it can be used everywhere throughout the app, which saves time, which saves time also and makes it easy for you in creating. It also have a virtual DOM, which is ultra fast, efficient for page updates. A massive ecosystem, thousands of ready-made packages. When you talk of packages in React, we'll be talking of things like Node packages. Instead of starting to create everything, uh, those packages they come with React when you install it. So it will be easy for you because you just start create what you want to create instead of starting everything. Yeah, you start from what you want to focus on. It is used by world's biggest tech companies. When we talk of these biggest tech companies, we'll be talking about Netflix, Airbnb, Dropbox, and Meta. It is extremely high in demand on the job market. Since it's being used by biggest tech companies, uh, it becomes it makes it be very high in demand on the job market because tech companies will be using it. Uh, Excellent community and documentation and tutorials. So that's why technology. That's why developers use React. Some of the companies that use React, we can talk of Instagram. This application was created using React. We can talk of Netflix. This application was also created using React. This some of the companies, uh, some of the applications in companies that uses React. BNB, uh, some of the agencies, several companies use React, and all other Meta applications they were created using React. So you can see that if such big companies are using React, so it's worth learning. Learning React is not wasting your time or wasting your resources, but it's worth learning React because it is used almost on every application that you use. Let's just give a comparison between React and HTML. So HTML is one big file with all content written out manually. As for React, small reusable components assembled like building blocks. So these small reusable components it becomes easy because you create a component once and you can use it everywhere when you want to use it. For example, you can create the nav bar. The nav bar, it can be used for, if you talk of this portfolio, it can be, it's there on the home button. It's there also on the about section. It's there on the text deck. It's still there on the project section. It's still there on the contact. Even if you go to the footer, you can still find the contact section. So you see, you can use it whenever you want. So you just be importing it instead of starting everything afresh. Uh, if you change data, you need to manually change it on HTML. But on React automatically renders what you have changed on the component. If you change, for example, if you change the about section, it will automatically change instead of changing everything manually. We're going to demonstrate this as we go throughout the course on what we mean when we say it renders automatically. All codes are in one or two files, which gets messy as projects grow. React each component in its own file, clean and organized, scalable. You can use it wherever you want to use it. You just need to import it instead of starting everything. And also that saves time. And also it reduces uh, the risk of unnecessary bugs. Copying and pasting sections, to you need the same layout again. But as for React, once you create a component, you can just import it everywhere when you need it. You don't need to repeat it. Just import and import it. For example, if you go on Facebook, uh, this sidebar and this navbar, it was used everywhere. Every section you go, you find the navbar. Every section you go, you find the sidebar. It was created once. Each and every section, it was just imported. Uh, Instead, it makes it easier. Instead of copying it, you pasting everything, you just import it. It is for simple static site. React is for building dynamic component websites, portfolios, dashboard, and apps. Because if you create a component now, you can use it everywhere throughout the project. So it makes it suitable for every site. Let's just talk about key React and ReactJS, key terms React and ReactJS, an open source JavaScript library for building component-based user interfaces. A component is a reusable, self-contained building. So DOM is a memory in copy of real DOM, and DOM is dependent model the browser's internal representation on a library npm. So this is what you can ask yourself. So in the next topic, we are going to be talking about setting up your React project. So I can't wait to see you there when we'll be explaining and demonstrating on how to set up the React project. So wait, learn and go do React. Shalom.